part of this.
You're making fun of me while he's over there. He's already on his second pour. So I just took one pour. I'm smart.
Mine's still like a fifth of what you take.
Did you clear a third of your bottle in one pour?
Hello, and welcome everyone to episode 141 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you're going to hear all week long. Anthony, we're your host. Kenny, Anthony, and Steven.
Oh, my God. What's next coming from you? I can't ever. Well, on that note.
Kenny, we're trying to get a show started here, and Giggles McGigglesons over there.
He's laughing as hard as I am.
Have you seen his hair tonight?
Oh, man.
Stay away from open flames.
Hey, you wish you could work it the way that I do.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
Kenny wishes he had hair to do that.
I do.
That's right.
It's on my back.
He's jealous.
It's on my back.
Kenny's slick back.
Wait a minute.
Slick back to back.
Let's switch this from Bourbon podcast to Who Has the Best Hair podcast.
I'm third place.
Let's start out. Oh, man. Well, super nice to be back recording with you, gentlemen. I know that even to the listening audience, we have an episode every Friday, but it's been how long since we've recorded together?
A few.
It's been a couple weeks, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
It's funny you bring that up.
Why is that?
Because I was actually going to tell the audience a little bit of inside information.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't let too many secrets out.
Sometimes we just get together and record one episode.
Yep.
But a lot of times, just based on logistics, we get together and record 2 episodes.
How dare you?
So the thing I was thinking earlier is if you ever hear an episode where it is like laughter, beyond laughter, and you think we're drunk, it's because it's the second episode that night.
But this is the first
This happens to be the first episode. But this happens to be the first episode tonight, and we have been drinking a lot before the episode started. So if we do a second episode tonight, watch out.
Watch out now.
We are over an hour since we got here.
Watch out.
Wow. Well, that's what happens when you haven't seen each other a long time. You got to catch up. And I mean, we've seen each other. We just haven't been behind the microphones. We've actually had a lot of bourbon kind of stuff going on, which has been pretty cool. Our famed Four Roses pick, we can't really call it our Four Roses pick because it's a pick for the Bluegrass Liquor Box in Georgetown.
Shout out. Thank you, Andrew, for getting us on that pick.
Yeah. And that landed.
It did?
Up in Georgetown. And I went up there like a crazy person and brought all the Lexington folks their bottles back.
All the goodies came home?
Yep, they all came home, and we are enjoying that. That's one of the things that we actually pre-poured and enjoyed just to make sure that we loved it as much as the day we picked it. And
we had a chance to see we got the right barrel.
Right,
so
absolutely.
Kenny had to give it a blessing.
I did. And so if anybody's in the Lexington area, and when this hits on Friday, I would call them, see if they have any left. Because I went back and bought 6 more bundles myself personally.
Not only do you have to compete with everyone else, Kenny,
because I might switch to 12 bundles. That's that good, man.
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
So that's the only thing. Yeah, you're definitely competing with Kenny if you want to bottle that because he is buying them all like a monster. It's crazy. So
it's so good.
Yeah,
I have a lot of guys in my bourbon groups, like even like the tighter knit, like super tight knit bourbon groups. Mm-hmm. They tater over Four Roses like the mass population taters over Buffalo Trace stuff.
Really?
Eagle Rare, Blanton, Elmer Lee, blah, blah, blah. And for me, I am 20% of the Four Roses I taste I like, maybe 30 at the max. Mm-hmm. It's not that good. This is fire.
I'm there with Kenny. I usually don't enjoy Four Roses that much.
Yeah, this is amazing.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
It tastes great. It does not even taste like 125 proof.
I know. And to go back to it real quick, you in the groups that you're in where they tater over Buffalo Trace, or you said that they
tater over Four Roses, like how our mass population taters over Buffalo Trace.
Right, and they must tater over Four Roses because they just don't know about how good Buffalo Trace is.
Oh, geez.
Oh, here we go.
You're the tater.
I mean,
no. And so just let people in on a little something, because hopefully, I'm assuming restaurants and stores all across the U.S. are going to be having a lot of these picks come out.
Right.
If you see an OBSK from Warehouse QS, whether it's a tier 6, and now I've had 2 tier 6s and 2 tier 4s. Both are amazing. So if you see any OBSKs from Warehouse QS, and they're usually 8 years, 7 months to 8 years, 11 months old, I promise you want to bin it. You want to buy it. You want to buy it. The whole run is fantastic.
What does QS stand for, you think, right?
A Q and then South.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. So it's Warehouse
South.
Q, South?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And what does the 88 mean on it?
88 is the row, I believe.
That's the angle.
6, or hang on. Yeah. 88's like the row or something. 6 is the tier, and then M is the barrel down there. But I think 88's either the row or the something. Okay. I don't know. I've had a little bit to drink before we recorded the night. I apologize.
It's the 88 degrees of freedom. It's the tilt of the barrel in conjunction with the earth. I'm sorry, I'll stop now. Yeah, I got a little carried away. But what the heck else you guys been up to? You know, what's any new bourbon stuff going on in your life there, Mr. Steven? Did you have any get-togethers where you may have been offered any kind of bourbon? You've been like, oh, it was amazing, or it was terrible? Because if you did, you haven't. Oh, you haven't had any drinks?
I don't think so.
Wow, dry January.
It has been.
He's doing dry January over there. Well, opposite wise, I actually was not feeling well. What was that, like last week, I think? Yeah. And I had this awful cold, and when I was talking, I was kind of talking like this. I had no voice, but I soldiered through it. It was just sinus drainage and everything else. Well, I had no plans to drink anything. In fact, I hadn't been drinking. And then there were mutual friends in town, and Kenny
Frickles
decided to text me incessantly. So anyway, yeah, after twisting of arm, I decided to go and taste some with bunch of good guys, Kenny, Frickles, Mossick, Frickles' friends, all these folks.
Yep.
And there were bottles there that I've only seen in the museum. Like, what was that? Old Fitz from 1960 something.
50 something to 60.
50, 60 something.
Wow. Old Forester Presidential Barrel Proof that was sub 100 from 1970.
Oh, my
Alves was there. He brought the Old Forester bottled in bond from 70.
Right.
22-year Willet that's like Bernheim juice that's like fire. We had a lot B that Anthony brought.
The old Willet 12.
That was definitely one of those times where I showed up with my bottles and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely not got nothing to contribute again,
hey,
but we'll put away.
I brought Irish whiskey, bro.
You did, that's right.
Because number one, it's great for the stuff I have, but number two, I knew that there was no competing with bourbon that night, so I brought Irish.
Yeah, but that was kind of crazy. So there I was in no shape to be drinking. I didn't drink a lot, but I enjoyed the company, I enjoyed the time, and I'm glad that I got to go museum sipping is what I'm going to call that from now on, because
it's a great time.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I took way too many pictures of bottles, and I hope nobody thought less of me, because I was thinking, when will I ever have the opportunity again? This is something that I'm going to remember for a long time. So it was a pretty cool experience, and I appreciate that, Mr. Frickles.
Yep, a good time, great time.
What about you, Kenny? Anything else going on, sir?
Well, I was going to talk about that bottle share, but you talked about that.
Oh, ruined it.
Well, so I'll talk about my Four Roses pick.
We don't want to hear it. Steve, you want to hear it? We're gonna torture him. You want to torture him during it? We'll just interject with comments while you're talking.
So if any of our listeners
I'm just kidding.
Listen to us talk about the Four Roses before.
Right.
Did we talk about that?
We did. We had.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did it again before we nosed or sipped anything. As the first pours were being thieved out of the barrel, I told Mandy which barrel would win for that day, and it did. It was barrel 7. So I told her, and it was it. So I'm 2 for 2. So I have nowhere to go but down from there. So if I go back to Four Roses for another pick, I will probably not guess this time, because I'm 2 for 2, and you got to go out on top.
Kenny, the Barrel Whisperer.
It was funny. Love that. I was surprised it did win, but it was pretty cool.
Call him Barrel Whisperer. I'm going to call him Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again.
That's right, 2 for 2. 2 for 2.
Thanks for letting me crack that dad joke.
That's all right.
Yeah. Well, if you need your barrel picked, I'm just kidding.
Holler at us, man. We can do it.
Yeah. Kenny will just walk in and look at the barrel and tell you which one to pick, and you don't even have to taste.
It's the fastest experience ever.
Yeah. You don't even get to taste the liquor.
Didn't have to.
No buzz, nothing. You just walk
Didn't have
out.
to. You got it. You got it.
Do you know what's funny? Did you actually tell somebody you didn't taste our actual pick that we did for Liquor Box? Because I swear to God, I saw somebody online say, how do you know if this is even good? Because you said you didn't even taste it. So were you going around telling people, I just didn't even taste it, I just picked it based on sight?
No, somebody that was there with us said that I didn't really taste much.
Okay.
Because for me, I can pour myself a quarter ounce.
Yep.
And get 3 to 4 tastes out of that.
Okay.
I just do small amounts, coat my mouth, and that's all I need. So when Mandy thieved them all, I had a lot left in each glass because it doesn't take much for me to taste. So I just coat the mouth, swallow, and let just let things take over and see where it goes from there. So
there you go.
That's what I was saying. I heard you didn't even taste it. Well, I didn't have to taste much of it just to know what it was. And if you remember that day, I didn't take any notes really. I just
Didn't you just scribble in the book and put check marks in there like Andrew?
I just guessed what it was. Like
dinosaurs.
I put, oh, this is a V, this is an O, this is a K. I guessed that way to try to guess at what they were.
Yeah.
But I didn't take much notes because it just that one stood out so much. It was awesome.
Nice.
So, boys, we have another review to read this week.
Absolutely. So this review comes to us. First of all, it's a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and the title of the review is Just Bros Being Bros. That's very bro, and I'm happy about that. This person commented, has definitely become a podcast favorite of mine. Great mix of knowledge, news, and natural chemistry amongst the hosts. Signed, Morrow A. Well, that is so nice of you, Morrow.
I know a Morrow A. I don't know if it's really him, so I'm not going to say that. But
you do?
If it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Morrow.
Thank you, Morrow. And I will just say this. We have crazy things in whiskey where we start in different places. All of us do. And if this is the Morrow that I think it is, I'd like to take this moment to say to him that I know we had some unevenness in our whiskey journeys together and maybe some spirited exchanges on messages that he may or may not remember. But water under bridge. And I'm happy you're listening, and I'm happy that to see that review. And the fact that you said we had natural chemistry amongst the hosts, because if you were here right now, you wouldn't know it.
Because remember, 2 of the 3 of us are good.
Only 2 of 3. Not sure which one, but
we sit around shirtless and pantsless, just in our underwear, so that helps the chemistry out.
It does.
Helps us bond.
It's because this basement is so damn hot.
No, if it's a Morrow I'm thinking of, though, man, he honestly, in the last 6 to 8 months, dude, no joke, might even been a little bit longer, he is cracking a lot of good bottles and starting to drink a lot of good stuff.
That's good.
He's really, man, he's cracking and sharing. So yeah, if it's a Morrow I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and if you've listened to our podcast and you've heard any of my tirades ever where I just kind of broadly make broad brushstrokes about things that I don't like in whiskey, those were some of the places I think where I got caught up, not just with him, with others as well. And you know what? At the end of the day, it can't be holier than thou. They're your bottles. You do what you want with them, and we all appreciate and enjoy whiskey in different ways. And so we're happy you're along the journey with us, and that's that.
All right, we'll go get the Diet Mountain Dew, and let's finish this bottle.
On ice.
On ice, definitely.
There you go.
But if you like a shout out, just leave us a review on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Instagram. Keep mailing them to Anthony, and next time we'll get them, we'll give them a read.
Carrier pigeon to Kenny, don't forget.
There you go.
So Kenny, this week we have a bottle of Old Forester 19 and 24.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna let you do it from now on. I'm not gonna do it. Perfect. So yes, we got this Old Forester 1924. This is from the Brown-Forman, Old Forester Distillery, owned by Brown-Forman. The bottle date is 2024. The ABV on this guy is 50%. The proof is 100. The age stated at 10 years. Oh, 10 years is a long time. The mash bill is a new mash bill for Old Forester, but not a new mash bill. We'll talk about that in a second. It's 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% malted barley. The MSRP on this is $115, but I think the distillery had it for about $130 after tax and shipping, if I remember correctly. And Kroger, other big box around town, had it between $120 and $130, I think, maybe even cracking $130 in some places. High secondary on it right now as we speak is probably about $200, but I've been seeing a lot of bottles for around the $150 to $175 range. It seems to be where it's kind of settling. So
It's a very big batch release, so the prices have just come back down from where they were. So, yeah.
So when you say big batch release, and we'll talk about this bottle here in a second, what do you mean big batch release? Are we talking like thousands and thousands of bottles?
Thousands and thousands.
Tens of thousands?
And thousands.
Tens of thousands? Do you know any numbers for real?
I don't. I Googled it, but I couldn't see. But it's a ton of, it's finally hitting everywhere, so the prices are back down again. But,
yeah. Well, what do you guys think about this bottle?
Well, this goes hand in hand with what you have said about Elijah Craig.
Right.
Where this is literally the exact same bottle, even though it's a more special release.
Rinse and repeat, right?
Yeah, it's just the exact same bottle, just they've changed the label just a tiny bit, but you wouldn't even know if you walked in, you're the average bourbon person. This looks like a 1910, a 1920, a 1897.
Yep.
It just happens to say 1924 across it.
Right. What other observations do you have about that one, sir?
Is age stated.
Yes, none of the other Whiskey Row are age stated, correct? So that's different. But do you think, honest to God, I feel like if you're going to put 10-year-old on that, I know they don't want to mess it up, but I almost feel like they should have put like a stamp, like gold embossing that says 10 years old so it sticks out. Otherwise, it kind of gets
pretty small.
Yeah, it gets lost under there.
Yeah.
You know, if you saw these sit next to each other on the shelf, and there's probably people across the United States right now who walked in, saw this on a regular shelf, not on the counter or behind the counter, and may have walked right past it because it looks just like the other bottles.
Especially if it was mixed in just with the other
right.
Old Forester
right.
bottles.
That's what Kroger did.
Well, they really
I saw some local posts, and like it wasn't like up on the counter or behind the counter. It was like just sitting in, next to the other ones. It was like on its own little, just kind of mixed in.
Boy, that's crazy. And I know that some people have yelled at us for reading about what's on the label, but I have to mention this. So Whiskey Row Series is supposed to have meaning. And when I say it's supposed to have meaning, each date's supposed to mean something. So this is what 1924 means, that Owsley Brown took barrels of whiskey with different mash bills to a warehouse on Howard Street in Louisville and bottled them as Old Forester. This 10-year-old expression honors the 100th anniversary of when he basically went and bought all these barrels from different places and blended them. And so that's what this is supposed to be historic, I guess, of, which, to be honest with you, is kind of a weird story. Isn't it a little bit weird?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we grabbed other people's barrels.
And we took it here and put it in barrels.
Yeah, put it in barrels, and now we have a commemorative whiskey because of it. I didn't even pour any. I got to pour some now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about this purple? What are the other colors on the Whiskey Row series? Anybody know? Purple ribbon at the top?
I don't know, but it looks handsome with the purple and the gold.
It does, actually. I'm not usually a purple guy. It looks like Prince. You know Prince, the symbol?
I do.
That's what it looks like. It looks like purple Prince. But anyway, I'm done talking about it. So, guys, I've been on record saying that my favorite expression in the Whiskey Row series is probably 1920. And
you just poured an Alves pour.
I did. You know why?
Holy crap.
Because instead of pouring multiple times, I want to enjoy this pour. So
you're going to enjoy it, all right.
That's not, be Ubering home, my man.
It's an ounce and a half, maybe.
Come on. You know that?
Huh?
He picked me up tonight.
Oh, good luck, Steve.
Yeah, no kidding.
Come on. You guys are just...
Better take his keys.
You're being silly. Stop that. So anyway, my favorite expression probably in the Whiskey Row series is 1920 followed by 1910. I think that's how I would rank them. And then I've only had 1897 once, and what's the other one? 1870.
Yeah. 1920 is really good too.
Yeah.
Well, I've had more 1910 than I can recently than I know of. So.
Well, that's my starter because also works lower proof,
right?
So that's why. But I'd say if I drank the two, I probably would prefer 1920 more than 1910. But both are good,
right?
Very good for the money, especially money and availability.
So when we think about the rest of the Whiskey Row series, what's interesting about it is the standard mash bill on all the other products is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. So they are saying in the press release that this is a new mash bill for Old Forester, but it is not a new mash bill for Brown-Forman.
That is correct.
Yeah, so who wants to talk about that? Because that's created some confusion, and it's also leading me to a place where if I like this whiskey tonight, I'm going to have a lot to say about that mash bill.
Well, the night is early and the times are good.
Well,
there's only so many mash bill combinations you can do.
It's early times mash bill.
Right.
Man. This is the early times barrels.
Yeah, Do you remember when we did the Early Times episode, Stephen, and we talked about the transition from Early Times as a brand from Brown-Forman to Buffalo Trace, and the one that we tasted was Buffalo Trace because it was the new one? Yeah, it was the repackaging.
Yeah.
The original Early Times that Brown-Forman was putting out there, the one that Kenny loves so much with the black cap, that had this same mash bill.
I may own 7 cases of, or I may not.
So I've went up and down with him and told him how it doesn't really make a difference, right?
And you're wrong.
That's and I'm wrong, he says. Good. But we'll have to blind that at some point in time.
I've already done it. Multiple times.
Yes, and I've always picked the Buffalo Trace one, right?
No, you did not.
I didn't?
You did once.
Liar.
You are 1-1.
Liar!
No, you're 1-1, dude.
I was 1-1. Kenny, next time he's going to say he's never done it here before, too.
Yeah.
Hey, here we go.
No, you are 1-1.
Okay, so it's 1-1. But anyway, the point is this, that mash bill has existed not only in early times, but that's also the mash bill for King of Kentucky,
yes.
right?
Yes, because King of Kentucky is basically old barrel-proof early times, and it is freaking phenomenal.
Right. So that's why I'm so freaking excited about this, because
that's quite the bottom shelf to top shelf.
Right. Right, it is. And it really makes me go back and kick myself, because we could have bought a whole bunch of those early times when they first debuted at $23 for 4-year-old good distillate. Mm-hmm. And now that Saz has it, I'm sure they'll screw it up like we said. But so far they haven't. But they
become allocated soon.
Didn't they say they bought a lot of barrels though? So how do they buy a lot of barrels? But now all of a sudden we have 10-year-old 79 1110 coming out.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in this business.
Yes.
So they may have bought some. They might have not bought some. They could lie about it. They might not lie about it. Depends on how good your attorneys are. But
Kenny kicking the knowledge over here.
Well, but even if they did buy some, the blending is different. So every person that I've ever blinded always picked the black cap Brown-Forman early times. You pick Buffalo Trace once.
Right.
The Buffalo Trace is still very, very, very good because it was still supposedly using those early times barrels.
Write that down.
It didn't, it's not as good as the black cap, but it's still very good. I just wonder when they're going to start using Barton juice or something else to make that. It'd be interesting to see when that switchover happens.
Only a matter of time, for sure.
Oh, it has to be. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But this is I've been nosing, even though Steven didn't give us the go ahead. But I've been nosing. It's pretty good. I like the nose so far.
Yeah.
Well, since he's being a cheater,
that's right.
Let's go ahead and take our first nosing.
All right, here we go.
Okay. I'm going to make a prediction about this episode.
Okay.
To me, this nosing is very sweet.
Right.
Kenny is going to like it.
There you go. There's the prediction. That's not a leap. We have the sweet. He's a sweet guy.
Whore.
Sweet horror.
Sweet horror. Yeah. I like sweet guy better because then I can say, oh, Kenny, you're a sweet guy. I like that. That's good. Man, this has like a little bit of a tart cherry, some leather, chocolate. What's that? Is that like a brown sugar too?
Brown sugar.
It's just it's just a
every dessert note you can
dessert note, very desserty. God, it's sweet. It's very sweet. What about your nose there, sir?
I'm with you on all that. It's just your normal vanilla, caramel brown sugar type of bourbon notes.
And
it's not as harsh on the nose though.
Yeah.
And that's due to, I guess, the age, because a lot of that stuff is 4 to 6 years old from Old Forester.
Right.
Like even the barrel proof picks, right?
That's right. And there's very little ethanol. I really stuck my nose in the glass, so I got it right next to the liquid, and it still didn't burn my nose at all. Yes, I did shove my whole nose in there. Oh yeah.
As much liquid you got in there in that nose, they're about to touch.
I actually think I did dip the top of my nose out into the glass there.
Well, when you pour yourself 4 fingers and worth, that happens.
Hey, it looked good. Okay, I got excited.
That's like 2 drinks for Alves, though.
Why are you raking on Alves now?
I'm not raking on him. He takes big sips.
He likes his big sips, big gulp, like a big gulp, like at a gas station. Just give me the big gulp.
Speaking of Alves, I'm going to go see him tomorrow.
You are? What are you going to see him for?
Well, we're just going to hang and sit, but then freaking Randall posted some special sandwich on South of Wrigley. So now it's some kind of beef. I don't know. It looked good. I forgot what it was called, but it's like he has like beef with cheese and some kind of peppers, and it's freaking I don't know.
So it's a cheesesteak.
No, it's something different. But I'm going tomorrow and getting
that's
that.
Great.
So I'm gonna take that down there.
You need to let me know when they have the next meatball.
The meatball?
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Hey, a nice Italian boy, you want the meatball?
I need it.
There you go. See? So, have you guys been paying much attention to what people are saying about this? Because I think that this has been opposite time for us here in Lexington versus what's happened nationwide. So lately I've been used to like the coveted releases. So I would say that there was a lot of fanfare around this release. And what typically happens in Kentucky anymore is they're like, oh, this new product's coming out. And then we watch it get released in every single other market first. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it gets released in Kentucky last. So it hits us like 3 months after the fact. With this one, I think it was the opposite. I saw a ton local, like a ton. I got lucky and got this from the distillery. It got to my door 2 days later. I mean, now I know Louisville's not very far, but I was shocked at how fast it got to me.
What are some of the other releases that you've seen recently that have been elsewhere and we've gotten it later?
Well, I guess it's not BTAC for sure.
No, definitely.
I mean, other things that I can't recall right off the top of my head.
Russell Single Rick, Russell. I mean, literally everything. I mean, when I say everything, almost everything. Whether it's Generations.
Yep. Don't get me started. I got a story about Generations here in a second.
I mean, no, like almost everything. And this was the opposite. Hit here first, and the secondary prices on the natty sites. When I saw what people were getting for that, I was like, "Holy crap! I cannot believe people are paying for that."
Right.
Then hit local, and now it's gone. I've seen them at one. Even though retail was 115 to 120 plus tax, I'm seeing them now listed locally at 150 to 155. So it's back down to just bare hair above retail.
Mm-hmm. Right. You mentioned Wild Turkey Generations, and I had the opportunity, thanks to you, Kenny, and your bad influence, to the day when Wild Turkey Generations was releasing on a rolling basis on the website, but it was through Reserve Bar.
Right.
So this was in October, I believe, right? Was it October?
Yep.
Yeah. So I was all excited. I get my order placed through Reserve Bar at Sticker Shock. It was $529 or something like that after shipping.
About $520 was shipping.
$520. Yeah. $520.
Still cheaper than Liquor Barn locally.
Okay. Well, still. Okay. I get the email notification that says, we'll be shipping in December and you should receive it no later than January. So I've heard horror stories about Reserve Bar. I guess they probably won't want to be a sponsor after this if they ever did. But I've heard about people getting their orders canceled and everything. So everybody else I knew was getting their orders fulfilled for Wild Turkey Generations. And I was kind of sitting there going, I'll wait a little bit longer. So finally I emailed them one day and I get like we've received your email. We'll get back to you. 2 weeks later, we're getting in touch with the shipping partner. This is now like mid-January. So this just recently happened. And then a week later, they're like, good news, your bottle's shipping. And then this week, right now, like as in a couple days ago, they contact me and they're like, your bottle's shipping and you should have it this week. So the October to basically February for fulfillment for that freaking Generations bottle. I'm literally about to nuts. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait till it shows up and I'm not going to sign for it. So they have to take it back and refund my money. Take it all the way back. Take it back. I'm just kidding. I won't do that.
Well, that's good news. At least you got it.
Yeah.
Or you're getting it.
Yeah. It'll be there. And I'm excited to have it because it's a cool bottle. But I mean, I got way off tangent there. You mentioned things that hit elsewhere and I was talking about things that hit elsewhere. So
we are usually the last, even though it's made here, we get it last. It seems like.
Well, thank you, Brown Foreman and Old Forester, for not forgetting about the state that we are in and taking care of us first. Just saying.
I am Greg. Anthony, stop laughing.
So Anthony still has about 15 pours left in his glass.
Steven,
how much do you have left?
Somehow we went from 4 fingers to 5. I don't know what's going on over there.
Steven, how much you have left? Not much.
Let me before we get to the unedited part of this.
You're making fun of me while he's over there. He's already on his second pour. So I just took one pour. I'm smart.
Mine's still like a fifth of what you take.
Did you clear a third of your bottle in one pour? All right, Steven, give me a clean glass.
So we haven't even started tasting yet. Kenny's already giving blinds out.
Well, I've got an idea.
Kenny, did you give me 1925? So Anthony, are you ready to go for our first tasting?
Yes.
Kenny, join us for the adventure.
I'm here.
I'm here for it. All right. Well, unfortunately, I have this massive pour. And now Kenny just gave me another one. So I got problems over here.
Yeah, I had to throw something into the mix here. But now, so like y'all know, anybody that listens knows I like my 1910 as my starter. Just a good bang for the buck. But they came out with that other series. What's that series called? They're little small releases of the 375s. What do they call those?
Oh, the whiskey. What were those called? They're like a distillery series.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
So they had a 1910 extra.
Yep.
And they had 1910 extra, 2 extras. They're old.
Oh, they had a 1910 extra.
And it was
all about
amazing. It was amazing. Like crazy amazing.
Wait, I've never heard of these. So the extra is actually like
it's extra aged. So so the 1910 is aged in like a double oak toasted barrel or whatever.
Okay.
And that's just a normal 1910. They came out with a 375 milliliter 1910. They call it extra, so it was done even longer.
Okay.
And then like 6 months, a year later, they come out with the extra. It's done freaking forever in this, and it's so good, so good. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because this 1924, the color is very dark compared to most other stuff.
Right. So what are some notes you're getting on this? Because to me, the first sip is very cherry forward, and it's that tobacco-y cherry. I mean, I'm talking like this because I really like it.
Yep. No, I am cherry. I'm tobacco and brown sugar.
I feel that I could probably. So here's what I'm going to say right now. I'm smart. You guys are not, because that's why I took a good, nice pour, because I knew this was going to be good. And man, so there's a little bit of char too, like in the finish. That's like a seasoned oak char. Whoa.
I'm really enjoying that tobacco leaf.
Oh man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say it reminds me of the cigar rye.
Yeah.
But like, you can like taste the. It's not. Is it a dry tobacco leaf?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. It's sorry.
This would actually be good since it's this is 100 proof, right? 100 proof.
Correct.
10-year age stated. This would be interesting to blind against the Brown-Forman Black Cap Early Times, which is also 100 proof, non-age stated.
Right.
And I did not pour y'all that blind, though.
I was going to say, I wonder what's in them.
No, I did not do it. I would like, that would be a good blind, but I did not pour y'all that blind. I pour you something else blind.
So I remember that Early Times Bottle and Bond being like a little bit more like honey forward, a little bit more like cornbready, just a little bit more grain, a little bit more raw, not as well, pleasure notes.
Yeah, this is probably double the age. You know what I'm saying? So this might crush it.
Oh,
but it'd be interesting to try those side by side.
Well, you guys made fun of how much I poured, and that went really quickly because I really liked it.
Oh my gosh!
Holy crap!
All right,
sir, can we have another refill on him? Wait, so hiding behind your shirt? What's going on?
I actually dumped some down my pants.
Okay.
What's this blind we have now?
Yeah, so now that y'all have tried this, I want you to try that blind next to it. And just not trying to guess, just which one do you prefer? You know, what's better, what's worse, what's your number one, your number two?
Okay, nosing right off the bat, I don't like it as much as the 1924.
It's got more of a melted caramel nose. It's melted caramel. Do you get that? Like a butterscotchy melted caramel nose?
Yeah, definitely more butterscotch versus caramel brown sugar.
Yeah. Just for my nosing, I prefer the 1924.
Yeah, I think the depth of the 24, like when I say depth, I mean it's got more of the, I don't know how else to explain well-aged oak other than it's just,
I think that tobacco leaf is really helping it out.
Yeah.
Woo! Right, I'm going to go for our first taste of this mystery.
Yeah, so for the listeners, so when we got together tonight, one of the first things I said, which was very odd for me, like very odd, I did kind of freak them out. They both like raised their eyebrows at me. I'm like, well, the last 2 episodes, we had the Camus Whiskey Blinds.
Right.
And we had the hour-and-a-half episode, which was very long for us, with Alves and Best 2023. Mm-hmm. I said, we should return to normal tonight just to get the viewers a sense of normalship. And here I am throwing blinds in.
Right, exactly.
But anyway.
But this blind is actually, so here's what I'm going to say right now. I like both of them for different reasons. And I still think I might give the edge to 1924, but
I like the 1924 a lot better. On the back end of this mystery pour, it feels thinner. The finish doesn't linger to me. It's not as full as the 1924, and I'm not enjoying it as much as 1924.
All right, well.
So from the nosing to the finish, and actually the tasting.
I like the front palate a lot of the mystery blind, and I do actually like the mouthfeel. I'm not a big fan of the finish. That's where I'm at with that. I think the front, though, is like this nice honey caramel and the spicy finish. It's a little bit spicy on the finish, but it's got like it's very nice. It's very nice.
Okay.
You can tell me, is it Dusty Old Forester?
No. So before we get to your all's blinds, think about the 1924. I wish it were a little more viscous. If they could have made it at like 115 proof even versus 100 proof, I think it would have been more rich and viscous, a little bit more like a better mouthfeel. So 100 proof hurt it a little bit in my opinion. It's still very, very good though. But I wish it was a little bit higher proof.
Okay.
Does that make sense or no?
No, that's fair. And here's the thing. I think I like the notes better on the 1924, but I do think the mystery blind has a better mouthfeel. And so that's why I'm interested in knowing what the mystery blind is. I think it's a little bit more viscous. That's where I'm at with it. So, Kenny, are you going to do us the pleasure of telling us what this mystery blind was before we go to talking about our infamous
Trash
fire
sky. So the reason I poured this, a couple things. There's been several people in the different groups.
Okay.
That I've seen when people post about 1924, and it's like one. Here's what's crazy is Liquor Barn was $114.99 plus tax.
Right.
Kroger was $129 plus tax.
Right.
Ooh. Kroger lately has been jacking some stuff up.
Yeah, I think what's that guy Chris's Picks? I think Chris's Picks is feeling himself,
dude. So, but what's funny is a lot of people put on there, oh, to me it's worth $50 or $80. I saw several people comment that, and I typed and then deleted several comments, and I'm like, nope, not even gonna. I just deleted them. I'm like, I'm not even gonna get into it. They're not worth my time.
Yep.
So in my opinion, in my opinion, this 1924 in blinds would beat 4 to 5 different years, modern years of Old Forester birthday bourbon.
Oh.
So what you all are blinding this against is a $900 2018 Old Forester birthday bourbon, and both of you all picked 1924 over that.
Whoa.
So for our listeners, do not listen to the morons. If you hear people say that they don't think it's worth the $125, the $150, they're freaking morons and they're crazy.
Okay, wait.
I would 100%, if I didn't have a chance to buy these at retail, I would definitely pay the $175, the $180 secondary, which is this is not part of past try buy. We're just talking. Yep. Because this is better than most Old Forester birthday bourbons. 2018 that we're trying against is 101 proof.
Right.
This is 100 proof. 12-year-old Old Forester birthday bourbon. This is 10-year.
Okay.
But both of y'all picked it over it.
Wow.
So would you rather have a $150 bottle or a bottle you got to pay $758, $50 for, $900 for?
Well, you know what's interesting?
Boom.
The characteristics of it do smack like the birthday bourbon smacked differently. It's not even close.
Well, birthday bourbon is regular Old Forester mash bills probably.
Right, regular
This
Old
is
Forester.
early times mash bill, man. It's
Right.
a different animal, bro.
And you can tell that in the profile.
Different barrels.
But still, I do think the only place is mouthfeel, and if we're only going on mouthfeel, I'm not going to spend $900 for a better mouthfeel and more butterscotch notes.
No.
At all compared to this, especially because I like this profile a lot better.
Do you have any of the blind left that I gave you?
Yeah. Nope.
I do.
Okay, hang on. Anthony, where's your glass?
My goodness,
I sucked
Anthony.
it down.
Where's your glass?
This is my glass.
Okay. So now that you know
Just a tiny bit.
what the blind is,
Yep.
think banana and go in and take this last sip. This is the traditional Old Forester banana-y, a little bit of banana on this 2018 birthday bourbon, whereas the early times has none of that banana.
Steven, did we do 2019 or 2018 birthday bourbon on the podcast?
I was thinking that because
I kept saying that was fruit salad.
No, you said it was a cherry bomb.
Cherry bomb, but fruity. Okay. I said it was fruity.
That wasn't the Runs episode, right?
No.
Okay.
The Runs was a different one.
So, Kenny, we always had this thing that we thought 2018 was a good year for bourbon. Kind of like, good year, a good vintage for wine.
Right.
Yeah.
We got a couple of like good bottles of 18, and we thought, was that just a good year for bourbon?
Right.
So,
Which is banana?
Banana.
Yeah, a little
Banana.
bit. So, which is this? Is this 19 or
2018.
This is 18?
2018.
We
12
did
year
19, I think
101
we did
proof.
19.
But you get a little bit of that banana. You get a little bit of the Old Forester banana on that.
You do get the banana.
Right.
But again, it's a caramel banana. It's not offensive, but
No,
I like
it's good.
I like the 24 better.
Don't get me wrong. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, you were very clear from the beginning. You like the 24 better.
Yeah.
Both of y'all were.
Yeah.
And I like it better.
Yeah.
So for the listeners, I'm telling you, 1924, get that over Old Forester birthday bourbon all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That doesn't mean like if you see Old Forester birthday bourbon at retail, obviously you buy that, but you don't crack it open. You go ahead and crack this open instead. So now that I've ruined Pass, Try, or Buy,
Watch out.
Go ahead, Steven.
So, Anthony, I'm mad at you. Would you pass, try, or buy on this Old Forester 19 birthday 24?
I love that. I'm a buy all day. In fact, the more that I sip this, the more I think this is like Little King of Kentucky. That's what I'm going to call it.
Dude,
I'm going to call it like a wispy version. Like if I was passing the night with a like soft wind blowing version of King of Kentucky, that's what this is.
That's a great way to put it.
Got a lot of characteristics that smack similar to me, and I love King of Kentucky. So at retail, I'm a buy, and I think I'm a secondary buy at 150, 160. Yeah. I don't know that it's going to go any better than that. So
I don't know how you could not, secondary with what Mr. Ruiner over there told us.
That's
Sorry.
true. That's
So
true.
I'm going to go next because I feel like Kenny's going to have something to say about this.
Get him, Steven.
I want to see how my prediction at the beginning of the episode is going to come out on this episode. So before we were ruined with this blind, I was already probably a try plus. The try plus to buy because just the price.
Yep.
But if we're going to compare it to birthday and have it, then I'm going to have to be the buy on this.
Right.
At the 120, let's say 125, whatever it costs. It is really good. All right, from the beginning and even the tasting and everything, it's been great to enjoy tonight.
I agree, buddy. 100%. 100%.
So, Kenny?
Yeah, so first time I had this, because this was my second time having it. First time I had it, Alves fresh cracked it with me and Mossick on Journey Drinkers.
Oh, yeah.
And I liked it, but didn't love it. It was a little more watery. Wish it was more viscous. And then as it set, because that was fresh crack, fresh pour. And then I had it an hour later, and it was a lot better. And that's when I said, I would definitely beat some birthday bourbons and some blinds. And so that's why I wanted to blind you all with birthday bourbon with this, because I feel that it's birthday bourbon caliber, man. Even though it's, 10-year, 100 proof and, 125 to 150 bucks. It's birthday bourbon caliber.
Dang.
So I'm a buy.
Nice. So are we all buys on this?
We are.
Man.
We're all buys, and I will say this. If they had made this at probably 115 to 120 proof, I would buy probably 20 of them.
Yeah, no.
But I've got 3 of them, and 3's enough for me. That's good. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I have this one and a backup bottle, and that's good for me right now. But what I really hope is that this becomes a regular and available type of a bourbon, because if you look at what other heritage distilleries have 10-year-old products that people go after, Buffalo Trace has Eagle Rare at 90 proof at 10 years old, right? Heaven Hill has a host of things, but they got Henry McKenna at 10 years old, Bottle and Bond, 100 proof.
I can't touch this.
They can't. That's what I was just about to say. Now, this is at a higher price point.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking about 10-year-old heritage brand whiskeys, other things we go down the list, I don't know that there's anything that I'd prefer to have over this right now, to tell you the truth. And even at the price point. So I think they did a great job. My number one concern is that this is the initial batch. What will future batches look like? And will this be, they said it's going to be an annual release.
Yeah.
I hope that at some point in time it becomes a regular release. That would be phenomenal if it became a regular release.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to do here as to take us out, guys, is what do you think the next thing in the Whiskey Row series is going to be? Give me a prediction. Give me a year and something you're going to have here.
Ooh. I will say they will come out with 1975.
Okay.
The birth year of Kenny Mills.
And what would the birth year of Kenny Mills Whiskey Row series look like?
You would get amazing taste notes of pizza and ribs and mousetrap and
Mousetrap. I was going to say that.
South of Wrigley sandwiches. All the good
there
stuff.
you go.
I like.
All the good stuff. Yeah. I mean, I don't think either of us can top that, but yeah, I think it'd be fun to go and predict in a future episode. I think they got to come out with 1929. And that would be the Great Depression Whiskey Row series.
Oh my gosh.
That's gonna be awful. It's gonna be like soup lines and
yeah,
Probably
moldy
source that
bread.
from Buffalo Trace.
I'm just saying, everyone wants a marketing story. Source that from Buffalo Trace. Oh, that's great, Steven. You got anything you want to add?
It's gonna be a tater bottle.
I'll put a compass on it.
There you go.
And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
Don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code The Mashup for a special discount.
Also, let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.